Benevolence, dear immortals. You can call me Whimsical William. Welcome to my channel. I know we're halfway through with the month of January, but I self-proclaim this month as Shoujo month. I've been reading a really good shoujo, and I think you all should be reading shoujo too. Shoujo is really good, it's underrated, and there's a lot of gems in that particular piece of manga. What I've been reading this month, I've been reading QQ Sweeper. Great art, amazing story. And its sequel, Queen's Quality. I am about 5 volumes in Queen's Quality. I finished volumes 1 through 3 of QQ Sweeper. It's really good. Let's get into it. So, I want to call QQ Sweeper and Queen's Quality a shoujo for the bros. Y'all like your swords and you're fighting, you're yelling, you're your best friends, your rivals, all that good stuff. You can find elements of that in this manga with, in my opinion, even deeper character development and more fundamental relationships. There's hints of romance, and the fighting is it's like battle, non-battle shonen, kind of like what they talked about in the manga and anime, Bakuman and Death Note. Death Note is a battle manga without actual battling. It's a battling of the wits. It's like that in QQ Sweeper as well. But they kind of found an interesting loophole. The premise of QQ Sweeper are these people called sweepers, and they have the ability to go inside people's minds and kind of sweep away and cleanse the negative energy. The negative energy manifests as bugs or almost demonic shadow-looking creatures that wreak havoc in a person's mind and terrorize them. And the person, usually when they have those bugs in their mind, they're kind of helpless to fight against them. It's like if you find someone who's manically depressed and they're so depressed that it's debilitating, like they've lost the fight so much in their minds that their bodies are rendered useless, or in a better argument, they've lost control of their bodies. They can no longer do the things that they need to do because their minds have been so compromised. QQ Sweeper and Queen's Quality takes us to the next level. Just that premise alone makes it interesting and very fun to read, real page turner. But there's more. So there's a reason why it's called Queen's Quality. Once you get towards the end of QQ Sweeper, all 3 of those volumes, by the way, if you don't read QQ Sweeper, Queen's Quality won't make as much sense and it won't hit different. You gotta read QQ Sweeper. It's a must. And it's really, the pacing is perfect for those 3 volumes. Like, you never feel like, things are happening too fast, or there's not enough detail, it's dragging on. It doesn't feel like a prologue. It just feels like we're just gonna change the name of the story. Like, now that we've added the Queen's premise to the story, let's just call it Queen's Quality. It never feels like, it doesn't feel like a separate entity. Now, I will say that the manga covers of Queen's Quality look better than QQ Sweeper, but the art inside is pretty similar. Maybe Queen's Quality looks a little bit better, but it's negligible. Now, the Queen premise. All right, we got our main character. I believe our main character name is Fumi, but sometimes the sweeper that she's partnered with feels like a main character too, but this world really starts to revolve around Fumi, because Fumi, I don't want to give too many spoilers, but Fumi is the key to a lot of things within the story's dilemma and the story's having a positive future or a negative future. Let's just say that. The Queen is a term that is both literal and figurative. The Queen is a being who has the ability to command people at their will with no strings attached. Usually a lot of the powers and a lot of abilities in this manga have a few strings attached. If you use this ability, maybe it'll make you tired or it'll leave you vulnerable. But the Queen's power is almost absolute. And I really like how Let me see. Yes. I like how they use the queen's chess piece in a lot of the covers for Queen's Quality, because when you're playing chess, the queen is absolute power, absolute offense. She can move in any direction as far as she wants, except for the knight, which is really interesting because the sweeper considers himself as the knight, the consort. So he can move in a way that the queen can't, but the queen can move in every other direction as far as chess. So they don't really reference chess much in this manga, but I find that the imagery for the covers leaves a lot to be desired and a lot to be thought of. But yeah, like the queen has a lot of abilities, but her consort really helps her achieve that full control and that full power. So they're partners, they work together. There's a lot of interesting subplots besides the queen and besides cleaning people's minds, and it's just really interesting how all these subplots come together as one story. Let's talk about another subplot. Sweepers are also literal, so they go around doing janitorial work, sweeping up outside, sweeping the stairs, sweeping hallways and carpets, what have you, wiping things down, cleaning windows, any type of cleaning service they do as sweepers in our physical manifested world and the world of our mind, the world of our dreams and nightmares. They clean the negative thoughts and they clean the cobwebs off the ceilings. I was wondering, why do they clean so much? And as soon as I had that question in my mind, it was answered so smoothly in the manga. It's simply a practice to keep the mind in the rotation, if you will, in the routine of cleansing. And they have the saying, cleanliness is next to godliness. In this story, being in a clean area helps you keep the negativity away. So cleaning is a good practice, but it's also something to preventative maintenance against the negativity and the darkness and the bugs, the shadows, the hatred that invade and infest the human's mind and spirit. So another great aspect of the story, it really promotes cleaning. Like once you read a volume or two, you might want to wash all your dishes if you haven't washed your dishes. You might want to sweep your floor or mop your floor and dust some stuff. It makes cleaning really cool. Let's see, what other? Oh, another subplot. There's a romantic subplot or co-main character. I guess I'll call him that. Actually, his name is Q-Taro. Yeah. I usually don't remember the names of the characters and stories, but I love these characters so much that they stuck around in my head a little bit. So yeah, Q-Taro, Q. He's a really interesting character because he fell in love with this girl who just disappeared, and she walked through a door. And by the way, the doors are essentially the ways to enter and exit the minds and the thoughts of people. So she went through a door and he tried to go after her and couldn't get through that door and lost her. And he's just been bummed out and sad and really isolated ever since. And this girl Fumi comes along and she reminds him of her, but she doesn't look like him, but he keeps thinking about her when he sees Fumi. And Fumi's like, wow, I wish I could find my Prince Charming. I wish it was him, but he already likes somebody, so I'm gonna leave that alone. Later on in the story, he finds out that Fumi and the girl that he lost may have a deeper connection than he thought. And he vows to protect Fumi because Fumi vows to help out with their sweeping occupation. It's kind of like a family thing. That's another subplot. Another subplot is the fact that there are many different squads that help keep the doors maintained, that they help take care of cleaning in certain areas. They all take certain areas and that's their area. They're the squad of that area. It's kind of like this is North America, this is South America, this is Russia. Just each part takes care of each part, if that makes sense. So Fumi's like, well, I'll help y'all out, with Q-Taro, his grandma, his sister. So it kind of has like a resemblance to Fruits Basket because Fumi's homeless because her family, a lot of tragic things happen to her family. So Q-Taro and them, they take her in kind of like the way Honda was taken in by the Somas in Fruits Basket, which is really fun. I like that dynamic. It reminds me that, hey, there's a lot of action going on, but I'm still reading a shoujo. because it reminds me of that shoujo. So yeah, those are most of the subplots. Oh yeah, back to the other part. So all these different parts rule, you know, cleaning other parts and doing other things. These other parts have their own working, you know, working gears and ideas and almost governments, if you will. So they're like, all right, so you guys might have a queen. Some people are like, that's too dangerous. We gotta neutralize her. Some people are like, that's really powerful. We could use her. And some people are just, I don't know what they're doing right now because I've only gotten in volume 5, but it's really interesting how everybody's reacting to the news that there might be a queen and how powerful the queen is and how it's making everybody act. The villain of this story seems weak but also powerful. I could never tell how powerful this character is, their true motive. It's really well written. The art's beautiful, the story is great, the characters are great. This is a must read. If you don't read shoujo, if you don't like shoujo, if you're ignorant and you think shoujo is all romance, it's not. Try it. Just pick up QQ Sweeper, or I know volume 1 is kind of difficult to find sometimes, but look it up online, give it a chapter or two. I think you'd really enjoy it, especially if you like shoujo, if you like battles, if you like nuanced characters, if you like stories that don't give you everything right away and makes you guess or try to figure it out, makes you use your brain. This is a good story. Let me show you some of the art. So like it looks like a shoujo, but I think it looks sharper. I think the panels are pretty nice. It's got that shonen comedy with the facial expressions. The proportions aren't blown out of control like a lot of older shoujos. You got the pretty boys, and she's hilarious. Fumi is so funny. There's a lot of comedy in this manga as well. Yeah, I think QQ Sweeper doesn't look as sharp as Queen's Quality. Our boy Qtaro, he be in them fills. Yeah, this is a really good manga. So if you get into QQ Sweeper, it is a little bit of a commitment. Right now, I think it's ongoing still. So right now we're on volume 20. So if you want something nice and long to get into, something to read and really enjoy, something that's gonna be around for a while, this is a good one. 20 volumes is a nice length of literature to really read and to really sink your teeth into. This is shoujo month. Put down that, I don't know, that Kaiju number 8, that Dan, whatever the hot new shonens are, whatever you're reading at the moment. That Sakamoto Days. Check out some shoujo, check out some Nana, check out some magical girls, check out some slice of life, you know? There's a lot of different genres inside of shoujo. Really recommend it to all my homies and all the people that are really tough. All the people that don't want to look a girly girl. Some of these will really make you cry, some of these will really make you feel something. Some of these have amazing stories. If you're looking for an incredible story that's a shoujo, I highly recommend Natsumi's Book of Friends. Like, it's gonna get you in those feels. It's spooky, you know, it's got yokai in it. The meaning of friendship, the meaning of companionship and connection is deep and profound, underrated, and just an excellent story. There's something for everybody, so that being said, thank you so much for checking out another video. This is Shoujo Month, get into it, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.